Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, and welcome to another Coffee with Angel. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. Let me give you a brief introduction. I'm Angel Cornelius, the founder of Maison 276 and creator of the innovative and award winning Maison 276 three-step system for silver, gray, and blonde hair designed to brighten, cleanse, and rejuvenate the natural brilliance of your silver hair without the use of purple dyes. Because I don't care what they tell you, purple dyes are not a necessary evil. You don't need purple dyes in your life. You deserve better. You deserve Maison 276. So, as you can tell, I'm a little bit of a baritone this morning. Allergies are going crazy, but it's all good. I just took some Claritin, and we're going to clear that up in about an hour. Um, if you're also new here, you need to know I am a huge football fan, and last week I ended the show by talking about my Saints, my U of H Cougars, and my LSU Tigers. Because I'm from New Orleans, I will always root for LSU, and all of my teams won. So it was a great football weekend. I went to the U of H game. We had a great time. Watched the LSU game before that. And then, of course, Sunday was the Saints. So let me just tell you now, if the Saints season is going to be like the last two games, get ready to be sick of me, because I'm going to start every Friday morning talking about the Saints. And if you know anybody from New Orleans, that's just how we roll. So, okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way. So, Coffee with Angel is all about just hopping on with me Friday mornings, 9 Eastern, no, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. And in just the amount of time it takes to drink a cup of coffee, because I'm a big coffee lover, we're just going to chat about, questions that I get through the course of the week. Or, oh, speaking of, let me turn on the comments. Hey, good morning, Deborah. Thank you so much for joining me. Good morning, Lorraine. And so, talk about either FAQs that I get, or, topics related to silver hair, or just anything that interests the Maison 276 community. And what I also realize is that from time to time, the Instagram comments actually don't show up in the same place. So from time to time, I'm going to hop on over to see what's going on with Instagram. Good morning, Marlene, Jules, at Grateful Life. I love that name. Lady JCG. Oh, my husband joined as well. Thank you, honey. I know you're in the middle of some calls and meetings, so I appreciate you hopping on as well. So let's go back to, oh, okay, I went to Instagram. Now I don't know how to go back to the other one. Okay. All right, y'all. Okay, we're gonna keep rolling. We're gonna keep rolling. So that's crazy. And I don't know how to get back to the other one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Good morning, Renee. Good morning. So today I didn't have an FAQ. It was something that happened to me a few weeks ago. It was a conversation, and someone said, well, we're old. And I was just like, you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Because I am not old. And what was funny is that my daughter, who was with me at the time, and she was like, even grandma doesn't call herself old. And my mother is almost 83, and she is absolutely right. She doesn't even consider herself old. And so what that led me to think about was just like the mindset, because I'm thinking, I'm 64. Are there 64-year-old people out here calling themselves old? Because I want to know who they are and how can I help. You are not old. You are mature. You have decades of life experience. You are wise, I hope, and looking forward to the next however many years of life, and planning to live them to the fullest. Because if that's not where you are, I want to help you get there. And that led me to think about just this idea of what does that mean. And I think that is why a lot of women are reluctant to embrace their silver, because there is this thought that it will make me look old. And I am here to say that that is a mindset, because frankly, you could be 40 and think that you're old if that's your mindset, and if you don't have a growth mindset. Because I really think that's what it's all about. It's like, are you forward thinking? Are you looking towards the future? And I think people who are comfortable in their skin and comfortable with the stage that they're at in life are the people who are excited about the future, no matter your age. And what does that mean? A lot of times I think people who embrace aging don't think about their age. And for instance, when someone asks me how old I am, sometimes I have to think about it. Not that I don't know, it's just like it's never in the front of my mind. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm 64. And it's because I don't think about it, because there are so many other things going on in my life that how old I am, like what's on my driver's license, is just not one of them. So, drop in the comments, how do you feel about just the word old and what that means? And if when someone maybe refers to you in that way, how do you address it? I'm just so curious to know that. I can't be the only one. It wasn't that I was offended. It was just like, that's not me. It's like if someone called me Barbara, like, I wouldn't answer to that because that's not my name. It's a lovely name, and so I think if when someone refers to me or anyone who has that youthful growth mindset as old, I think they're like, "Who are you talking about?" Like, that's just not me. So I'd love to hear your comments. Drop them in. Marlene said, I am not old. I am 60, and these have been the best years of my life. That's what I'm saying, Marlene. Like, exactly. Um, a Grateful Life says it's a very dated mindset. Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much, Grateful Life. I appreciate that. She says, I just found you and I need to place an order. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I agree. It's like it's a mindset, and I don't feel any kind of way about correcting somebody, especially if they're referring to me. Like if that's how you want to, wrap your own packaging, then that's fine. But absolutely not. And that's interesting you say that, Marlene, because last night when I was watching the football game, they were talking about Aaron Rodgers, who is the quarterback of the Jets. I told you I am a football fan. And they were interviewing him about being a 40-year-old quarterback. And he said, frankly, because I am very intentional about taking care of my body, from whether it's his workout routine or what he eats or his sleep regimen. He said at 40 he feels like he's in better shape than he was when he was 25. And I'm not going to say I feel better than I was at 25, but I do absolutely think I'm in better shape than I was at 50, because I actually have changed my eating habits. And so I actually do, and they weren't bad. They're just better now than they were when I was 50. And so that resonates with everyone, whether it's regular people, which, we consider ourselves, actually, we don't consider ourselves regular. We think we're fabulous. But, a professional athlete, I will just say, who's made hundreds of millions of dollars, literally using, his body to make a living. Um, if he can feel better at 40 than at 25 because he's being so intentional, so can we. Oh, I love this topic because apparently I have touched a nerve because the comments are coming in. Renee says, I love my silver hair and I embrace my age at 70 and I'm doing well. Exactly. Chef's kiss. Yes. Deborah said, I turned 70 this past January and I am embracing this journey. That's it. And that's all. And I'm grateful. And Deborah, you hit on a a pivotal and really important point about your perspective on life at this point. And I actually did some research like, what's the difference between the people who embrace aging and embrace this stage of life and the people who don't? And the number one thing that came up was gratitude. Gratitude. And gratitude, you know that old adage, your attitude impacts your altitude. I think gratitude is very much in that same vein. If you can approach almost anything from a state of gratitude, not that you're grateful for the bad things, or the times when we're, life is ups and downs, but it is, what am I learning in the valley moments, right? Every moment of life is not going to be a mountaintop moment, but when you're in that valley moment, what am I learning, and how am I going to be better when I come out of this? And that, to me, that encapsulates what you said. It's about gratitude. That's it, and that's all. It's not even complicated. Let's hop over to see what they're talking about on Instagram. Exactly. Nadella says, my age is a blessing, not a boundary. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, Nadella underscore NYDELLA, y'all look for her on Instagram because she actually has an amazing line of t-shirts. I love a good message t-shirt. And she has, one of her t-shirts says, my age is a blessing, not a boundary, which I wear and I love it. So I love a good message t-shirt, but she's absolutely right. Marlene says there are many who complain about growing older, but they never consider the alternative. That's like mic drop, right? Because I mean, you're either growing older or exactly. Nobody stays frozen in time. Period. I don't care what kind of procedure you have. Nobody stays frozen in time. All birthdays are a blessing. Hello, Mikado. Good morning. And she says, I'll be 52 next month. I have a few silvers in the front. And she colors them from time to time. No judge. I always tell people I'm not the silver hair police. Do what you want to do. But I'm trying to stay without no color. I guess I'm trying to get the best product for the best looking silver. Well, honey, you're in the right place. The Maison 276 three-step system for silver, gray, and blonde hair will keep those silvers sparkling as that crown comes in. And the fantastic thing about the three-step system is it is specifically formulated for silver hair because we know that silver hair is different, right? Once it stops producing melanin, also as we mature, our sebum glands, which are the glands that produce natural oils in our scalp, those become less active. And so that's why silver hair is inherently a little bit drier than our melanated hair. And the three-step system is specifically formulated to address what are just the naturally occurring changes that take place in our hair as we mature, because our hair is just like our skin. Our skin gets drier as we mature, and so does our hair. And so the three-step system addresses those naturally occurring changes without the use of purple dyes. Now, I will say this to anyone who is trying to embrace their silver journey, and you're this transition stage is what you're struggling with, right? And that's just real. But I will say, trust the process. You won't be sorry. I promise you won't be sorry. Another issue is that people often don't like the way that it comes in, right? They say, oh, if mine looked like yours, then I would let it grow out. Well, I mean, nobody goes from colored hair to all the way gray if you've previously been coloring it, right? Like it's a transition. But I will say your silver pattern is just like your fingerprint. It's unique to you. And so while you can be inspired by other people's journey, I don't want you to compare how their hair looks to how your hair looks, because once yours comes in, it's going to be a pattern that's uniquely yours. Some people will get, I'll tell you, when I started turning silver, it was a streak. Like I've had silver my entire life, but when it was at a point where you could see it no matter how my hair was combed, it started as a streak, just left of the center, and now it's all of this, and this has been like my whole life coming in. But so just be patient, be inspired by other people's journey, but don't compare that, because once yours comes in, it will be just as unique as your thumbprint. And if you want to know what that's going to look like, I always say, look at your mom, look at your grandmother, and that will give you a clue, because some people will never have as much white hair as I do. It's just not a part of your genetic, makeup. You may always be just like this beautiful salt and pepper mix, and that's fine too. It's all beautiful. So, Mikado, feel free to reach out to me, whether it's on the Maison 276 website. We have a contact us button, and any questions you have, please feel free to reach out, and we'll answer any questions you have, whether it's about the 3-step system or just about your silver hair journey. I love talking all things silver hair. I just love all the questions. Good morning. Is that Trixie and DS? DS. I don't have my reading glasses on. I should pop these on to make sure I'm getting y'all's names right. Okay, great. So Deborah hit on one key point of the difference between people who embrace aging with excitement and vitality and just energy, and people who dread and fear it. And the first thing was gratitude. The other thing that I found, the commonality between people who actively embrace aging, is that they stay socially connected. And that's really important. That's just about finding your tribe, period, because your tribe supports you. Your tribe helps you through those valley moments. Your tribe can share similar experiences about every part of life. And, that is really key. And, whether your tribe is through, social media, I have so many social media besties, like women that I have met over the course of the last, 5 years of building Maison 276. And some of them I have known for years, and then like I have just met recently. For instance, Trey's Going Gray, like she's one of the original Maison 276 brand ambassadors. And we first met in New York about 4 months ago. I feel like I have known her for over 4 years. And then we finally met face to face, and it was awesome. And there are so many people in the Maison 276 community that I really feel that way about. We chat, whether it's in DMs or text messaging. So, these are, I consider them part of my tribe. And so find those people, and because they energize you and you energize each other. So stay socially connected. And I mentioned social media, but obviously, in your home community, whether, that's your house of faith or any other type of social organizations, or just communities, that is so important. And then the third thing was investing in mental wellness. Now, that's kind of a new term, but I really think it just means being attuned to what you need as a person. And mental wellness can mean a lot. Hop over to Instagram. Mental wellness can mean a lot of different things for different people, right? It could be meditation, a quiet time, prayer. It could mean therapy, whether that's an individual therapist or group therapy. And sometimes, frankly, being with your tribe, being socially connected, for me, that's also a form of therapy when I'm just with my girls, and we're just not even anything special. We're just, life is just so busy that I am so grateful for those times when I can just be with my girls and we're just kikiing it and just talking about everything and nothing at all. But for me, that feels like a therapy session. And I think that's why being socially connected is so important to embracing aging with excitement and energy and anticipation. Um, Another form of wellness is exercise, right? And for me, that's always been a form of self care, because it's kind of like my me time. It's the time where I can kind of think things through, and because I run or either I cycle on my Peloton, and so because it's not a group sport, I don't have to pay attention to anyone else. I just pay attention to myself and my inward thoughts. So that's for me a form of mental wellness. But really, it's just anything, in my opinion, that gives you the opportunity to decompress and de stress and focus on yourself, because we all need that time, whatever self care means to you. So, this has been a really, really fun morning. I've loved all the comments. If you're just joining us, we have been talking about the mindset of embracing aging with excitement and energy and looking forward to the future, and some of the characteristics of people who embrace aging actively and people who dread it, and the key points of those of us who actively embrace aging are excited about this stage of our life, not just this stage, but future stages, is that, we practice gratitude, we stay socially connected, we invest in mental wellness. And I also think another thing that's really important is also always learning something new. Like, I have two things that I are still on my bucket list, and that is reacquainting myself with the French language. I'm from New Orleans, and when I was growing up, I'm 64. When I was growing up, French was in my elementary school. It was a core subject, like English and math and all. But if you don't use it, you lose it. And so I want to reacquaint myself with the French language. And the other thing I want to learn how to do is play the piano. My mother played the piano, and we had a piano in our house when I was growing up, but I never learned how to play. I played the violin. So that's two things I want to learn how to do: speak French again and learn how to play the piano. And eventually I'm going to get to those. So I think that's important. Always learning something new. So if you just hopped on, just know that all of the Coffee with Angels, I upload them to my YouTube channel, so you can watch them. Oh, thank you, Mary. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you coming back every Friday morning and joining me on Coffee with Angel. Thank you. I appreciate your comments. So if you're just joining us, in a few hours, I will have the Coffee with Angel uploaded to my YouTube page. Deborah, you're learning French again. I mean, Renee said, yes, I'm learning French again as well. See, like, you got to keep those you got to keep those brain cells working, baby. You got to keep them working. That's another. There are a lot of keys to living a long, healthy life, and I think that's, like, there's not one thing. There are a lot of things, and active learning is one of them. So, okay, guys, our time is coming to an end. I don't want to keep you long. We're all busy. Got things to do. Coffee with Angel is just the amount of time that it takes you to finish your first cup. And I can tell you already, this is going to be a 2-cup day for me. I already know. I already know. That's right, Deborah. We got to stay engaged. We got to stay engaged. We got to stay engaged. So one of the things I realized, I'm learning, like this is my fourth coffee with Angel, I think. And one of the things I realized is like Instagram is a few seconds behind Facebook and YouTube. And so I cut off the live stream last time and realized that it was still streaming on Instagram. So I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. I'm looking forward to while I'm waiting for Instagram to catch up. Looking forward to another exciting weekend of football with my Cougars, with my Saints. So the Cougs are playing Cincinnati. LSU is playing UCLA. The Bruins are coming to Death Valley. Y'all going to eat well. You're going to have some amazing food. It's going to be tough. Have fun going back to Los Angeles, but you can always say, I went to New Orleans. I went to Baton Rouge and I ate well. Let's see, the Cougs are going to be in Cincinnati. And then the Philadelphia Eagles are coming to the Superdome. Jalen, he's from the Houston area. I live in Houston. I always wish you well, except not this Sunday. Okay? Who Dat Nation's coming for you. But y'all going to eat well too, because Philly travels. It's going to be a lot of green in the Superdome. Well, it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be more black and gold. But anywho, I digress. So I'm looking forward to another great football weekend. So have a great weekend, y'all. I'll see you next Friday on Coffee with Angel. Bye. What the hell happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Instagram, what happened? What happened? Oh, why did my screen go black? Oh man, Meta, what's going on? Meta, what's going on?